Hello everyone, I'm Chris with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Indy Motorsports Ranch for the SCCA Arizona Regional Time Trials. It's definitely a pretty cool race. SCCA Sports Car Club of America. They're everywhere. They do a lot of these racing events. We're here to film it, record it, take some pictures, mostly pictures anyways, but check out the setup. So, come out here in the Jeep. We go everywhere. There's a lot of land to cover here. I got the 1 to 500, 1 to 400. There's a 16 mil. That's the bag. That's what we're working with. So let's go check around the paddock and see what we got out here. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna try to vlog using the GoPro. That's something I've done a very long time, but we have the 1 to 500 millimeter RF freaking lens with my R5. This part of the track, where the sun's at here, the light hits the front of it. And that's sort of what I look at when I start my track photos. Where do I want to begin? Where the sun's kind of at a good spot and it's shining on the side of the car or bike, whatever it is that I want to show. So this is a massive track. This is just turn 1, 2, and 3. There's 20 other turns. I'll show you all around. I've already probably walked 1.5 miles as it is. I usually do around 5 to 7, depending on the day, even with the Jeep. Also, I had planned on having my head mount, which I have a head mount and a chest mount, to show sort of how I set up for panning shots and stuff like that. But all of the actual hardware that goes to the camera, the mount to those particular pieces, yeah, I forgot all that stuff. I don't really shoot with a lens hood. I mean, as you can see, it is very bright. So what I normally have is a CPL/ND combination filter, a variable ND filter, I should say. And that really helps with the harshness of the sun, because it's not like photo shoots where you can dictate everything. Out here, it's random. About halfway through the day, it gets windy, starts to get cloudy, the sun changes positions from there, and it just kind of goes that way, especially during the summertime. So it becomes tricky, and that's something that's something that you want to really plan for when you come to shoot in a live place like this, that the challenges of the sun and the environment really factor into how you take pictures. So in order to shoot when it's this bright out, you see the F number, that needs to be lower, and the 1/200, the shutter speed, that needs to be like 1/80 or lower. The problem that you have when you don't shoot and it's kind of a day like this is you need a faster shutter speed to let less light in, but then you don't get that blurred background. So that's where the ND filter and the CPL filter really come into play right here. And I'm noticing that right now as I already need to put it on, because I'm at an F11 and 1/200 and I'm still slightly overexposed. So all right, so we're at the next spot. Nice little pad here, set up. There's several turns there, a couple turns up there, spin around. This part of the track is nice and open, and this, especially for the bikes, is where you get the nice lean and the knee downs and whatnot. All right, so this area is another spot because the way they come over that hill, and part of what I'm trying to do with this place is show the different elevation changes, because you can see how that rises. And when you take certain pictures, it looks flat. Like if you just took this spot right here, it'll look flat. But if you can get them in a distance, you'll see a rise and then a fall. So you can get them coming up or on top, or especially when there's a chain of cars, it really shows that rise and fall. And then especially coming this way, you can see that the terrain changes. So you really want to try to get this elevation change. It just looks cool. So what I'll do is I'll start here, and I'll just kind of walk around this whole backside. There's a little hill right there, and from that hill I can really get the back shot going up the hill there and get this nice elevation change, because that's sort of what Indy wants to show, is that this track isn't flat. It does change in elevation pretty considerably. There's a lot of blind corners as you come up and over, and that's what makes it sort of tricky. So again, the sun plays a major part into where I'm standing right now. You see it's right there, which means as we go to the track, this side of the car that's facing me is going to be lit up and it's going to be shiny. Again, that's where CPL filter is going to be massively helpful, because a lot of these cars, again, the wraps, they're very glossy, they reflect a lot of sun back, and they're hard to shoot. So CPL knocks that down. But then you also got to remember to play around with your exposure and a few other tidbits that you'll need to mess with, but at least you won't have too much glare. You can tell, something I do with the CPL filter is I'll rotate it on like the ground or the sky. Like right now it's a little tough because the sky there's nothing in it to contrast it. So what I'll do is I look at the little histogram in the right hand corner. If you rotate it one way, the CPL, you'll see the highlights really creep up. If you rotate it the other way, you'll see them come down in the shadows. All right, wind's picked up a little bit, so I hope the audio is okay, but this is the next location that I shoot at. You can see it's the opposite end of where I was at before, and what's cool is you get this turn right here. It's really nice. Long sweeping, it's a hard break, and if you get a bunch of cars, they stack up and kind of go like this, and you get a really cool shot of the mountains and everything. When you're out shooting at tracks like this, it's good to start with a higher shutter speed and just kind of work your way down as you get more used to the flow of cars, how fast some of them are going. I hope you all enjoyed this video. A little bit different, just a little vlog of kind of how I go about doing these shots or these shoots out the track, because it is, it's a dynamic space. The sun's always changing, there's clouds, the cars are different, like there's a lot to go on. And if you're interested in doing this type of photography or videography, understanding the track, knowing the people that actually kind of work the track, so you know where you can and can't go. And then you'd be surprised if you ask them, okay, can I go over here and kind of like hunker down behind this tire wall? They might say yes. So hope you all enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll do some more of these. I have a feeling these won't get a ton of views, but you know what? It's a little different, and it's all about motorsports. So have a good one.